The most important place to start is with your trademark or your copyright. So that's something that you should probably reach out to a lawyer for. And a lot of lawyers actually offer pro bono services for startups or entrepreneurs that are getting ready. So one of the most important things is that you register your trademark wherever you think you're going to use it. So if you're just going to use it in one state, you can do a state registration. Or if you're going to do it all across the US, you can do a federal registration. That's usually recommended, but whatever is done, we highly recommend that you reach out to some type of intellectual property lawyer to help you with this. The second part is recordation, and that's something that you do with US Customs. You will record your trademark with Customs in order to help them prevent counterfeits of your product from entering the US. The other thing to consider is a global intellectual property strategy. Even though you may be in the startup phases or you're just starting as a young entrepreneur and you may just have an idea or maybe one trademark, think about what this looks like globally. Because very quickly, especially if you decide to sell online, your product can go all over the world. Well, that may be great for profits. That also means you have to protect it as well. So work with your lawyer to think about where your product might go or where your product already is going and being pulled into a marketplace that you may not have quite decided on yet. And decide if you want to enter that marketplace and how you're going to protect your IP or trademarks. Whatever route you take, there's an entire brand protection community here that's waiting and willing to help you. Please reach out with any questions. The second one is to think of counterfeiters as an unseen competitor. Often people with products look at their competition in the marketplace, but they tend to forget about the counterfeiters. So we tend to tell people to remember that counterfeiters are a form of competition, albeit in a legal form. And if you can think of your counterfeiter or the people who are counterfeiting your product as a competitor, that may help you with your strategy to deal with them in the marketplace. The next point to consider is e-commerce or social media. Everyone's product nowadays will get onto e-commerce in some way or another, whether that's a marketing strategy for the product or for the brand, or whether a counterfeiter will pull it into the online marketplaces. So that's something to consider. You can search where your product may be right now online and search e-commerce platforms to see if you can find it. The other thing is that e-commerce platforms often have a place for trademark owners to register their mark or their product in advance to try to get further protection. Additionally, there are a number of technology firms, law firms, or other online investigators that can help you search online platforms for counterfeit product. The next thing to consider is a strong relationship with law enforcement. So we're really happy to have the Intellectual Property Rights Center as a partner today, and they're representative of federal law enforcement helping small brand owners in this fight against counterfeit goods. And partnerships can come in many forms and many shapes. It can be with Customs, with the IPR Center, with your local law enforcement, or others who are looking to help protect American brands against IP violations, including counterfeit products. One of the other really important things, especially in this field, is collaboration. Collaboration amongst IP rights holders or brand owners, collaboration between rights holders and law enforcement, between law enforcement and the private sector, and even between us and academia. Collaboration is something that is very unique as far as the extensiveness of it in our field. And we encourage all of you to reach out to other partners in your field, in your industry, or even across industry to help us all partner together in the fight against counterfeits and be able to protect your brand and your consumers from counterfeit products.